Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I will be looking at Bleacher Report's article about the NFL's top quarterback and wide receiver duos for 2020. Let's get into the article.
Then I ditch them both. I ain't even right. Hot top Chanel, you dripping right. Young white cell, we living life. Sleep.
Okay, I just want to say one thing real quick. I'm thinking about, not just uploading on Saturday and Sunday. I'm thinking about uploading not every day of the week, not going to be I'm going to upload every single day type of YouTuber, because I'm eventually going to run out of content. But I'm just going to sort of kind of upload every other day, maybe. It's nothing official. I'm not going to, this is not a true statement. This is not this is a public statement. But this is not a, I don't know what the word is, but this is in the making. I might be doing this, so if you see a video on Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday, it's me uploading and screwing my upload schedule. So yeah, I'm just gonna start uploading whenever I want. I can do that, but I just like uploading on Saturday and Sunday because it's good. It's just because it's consistent. But I just might stop doing that. I like doing it, but I might stop. You know what I mean? So thanks for listening to this. You probably already skipped to the video because I have something on the screen that says if you don't want to hear me blabber about stuff, just go. So yeah, on to the video. We're back to your regular schedule programming. Alrighty, so the first wide receiver duo is Kansas City Chiefs. Makes a lot of sense. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes and wide receiver Tyreek Hill. This just makes tons of sense. Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill had such a good chemistry since last year. Tyreek Hill is just an amazing receiver, and Patrick Mahomes is an amazing quarterback. They are both young standouts. Tyreek Hill is just blazing fast, and they had such a good game together in the Super Bowl. Bleacher Report has to say that, that they would be sitting at the top. The Kansas City Chiefs have the NFL's best quarterback and dynamic wide receiver who ranks as the fastest player in the league, and the combination is deadly with 19 touchdowns together in 2 seasons, including the playoffs. That's insane. I think the Jets didn't even have that much touchdowns last season receiving. Yeah, we did. Sam Darnold threw 21, but you get what I'm talking about. So yeah, let's get into the second duo. Alrighty, so I don't think this is going to be our number 2 duo anymore, but Michael Thomas and Drew Brees come in as the number 2 duo. This makes a ton of sense because Drew Brees, Michael Thomas legit led the NFL with 149 receptions, and he also broke the record for, receptions in a single season. Drew Brees, broke, the completion percentage record, touchdown record last year? I don't know. But he broke some record and did that all while having Michael Thomas, and they just have such good chemistry. And this makes sense. I don't think anybody could beat them besides the Chiefs. And so far the list is going good. But I don't know if I said this earlier, but I don't think this is going to be the number 2 duo anymore, because Drew Brees said some stuff yesterday that Michael Thomas didn't like, and I'm just not going to go into the details. But yeah, let's go on to the next duo. Alright, so as you know, I just talked about how Drew Brees and Michael Thomas' chemistry might be ruined. Well, I just saw on Instagram that Michael Thomas apologized to Drew Brees for everything he said. Drew Brees apologized for what he said, and Michael Thomas accepted it. Michael Thomas didn't apologize. He just accepted the apology, so yeah. It should be on screen right now, the full statement of what he said, and it should be the whole time. I just wanted to say that because I was wrong, like I probably am for the rest of the video. But back to your regular schedule programming. Okay, bye. Alright, so at number 3, we have the Atlanta Falcons with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Bleacher Report calls this a sleeper duo. I guess you could say that. Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are not in their prime anymore, but whenever they were in the prime, they were amazing. But remember, this isn't 2017, 2016. This is 2020. They didn't have the greatest of seasons last year, and I can kind of see why this doesn't make sense, but at the same time, I can see why this makes sense. I really like the two as duos, but I think that they could have been lower down on the list, and they could have some teams that probably would be higher than them. Our number 4 duo is the Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett. This makes most sense. They are two, Russell Wilson, this is his favorite receiver. Russell Wilson is an amazing quarterback, and Tyler Lockett is an underrated receiver. He is so underrated. I don't think he's made the Pro Bowl any year, but, he's just a very good receiver, and he deserves more recognition. And coming in with our number 5 duo, we have the Green Bay Packers. I definitely think they should have been number 3 with Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, since Davante Adams is really the only receiver on the team who is, pretty good. I mean, not that saying that other receivers are not that great, but, he doesn't have that much weapons on the team, and Davante Adams is just, gets all the attention. I definitely think they should have been higher. Aaron Rodgers is just a phenomenal quarterback, and Davante Adams is a phenomenal receiver. The pair just go great together. Coming in with the number 6 spot, we have Tom Brady and Mike Evans. Why do I disagree with this? Because how can you judge, two duos who have not played a single snap together? They could have horrible, chemistry like Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. had. I know that it's just one incident, and it's probably happened multiple times, but I just feel like you can't rank him too high. He might even have a better, connection with Chris Godwin, since he gave him number 12. Who knows? Number 7's Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. I feel like they should have put Larry Fitzgerald instead of Kyler Murray, only because them two haven't played snaps together, and I know it's just one thing, but it's true. I definitely would rank them still high, because those two quarterbacks are just, those two players together are just good, but I definitely would have them lower, just low and high, sort of kind of in the mid-20s. What they should have? They should have a section with players who have not played together yet. It's like rank them all in order, and then maybe after the season starts, you combine them, or like redo this list after the end of the season. But yeah, I just don't think they should be in the same, category together. If that makes sense. And in the 8th spot, my lucky number, and it's also Kirk Cousins' number. And funny enough, Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen come in at number 8. This is a very good duo. Yes, now I am mad at Adam Thielen because I could have won the fantasy championship, but he decided to not record a single statistic except for 2 rushing yards the whole game. So yeah, I don't like Adam Thielen anymore. But they are really good together, and I think they probably could be higher. I think they should be higher because Tom Brady and Mike Evans and Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins. Why do I say DeAndre? What's wrong with me? I feel like they should just be lower because I already explained it. Coming in with our number 9 spot, we have the Houston Texans with Deshaun Watson and Brandon Cooks. Again, I'm just going to have to base it. Brandon Cooks, he's a speedy receiver who can't keep healthy, and Deshaun Watson is a young quarterback looking for good receivers. I feel like they have a pretty solid core this year now that adding Randall Cobb and Brandon Cooks. I think they can make a pretty good pair. Coming at number 10, we have Lamar Jackson and Marquise Brown. I was about to say Marquise Goodwin. It's not that. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to make any running back jokes here, but they had a pretty good connection last year, having touchdowns in a lot of games. He's a speedy receiver. He's a speedy quarterback. That team is straight speed. I like the pair. Now, coming in at number 11, we have Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. These are fixing to be 2 overpaid players on the same team. They gave him like 4-year, $20 million contract or something, Amari Cooper. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But, man, do they overpay for this guy. Half of the time, he doesn't even show up on the field. Like that Philadelphia game, I think they had him in the sidelines. I feel like it should be Michael Gallup in here instead of Amari Cooper because I feel like they have a better connection than these two, or it's either that, but I don't watch that much Cowboy football. So yeah, number 12, we have Phillip Rivers and T.Y. Hilton. Okay, Phillip Rivers, I mean, Keenan Allen and him had a legendary chemistry. They went great together. Well, that's just from my point of view. I feel like they were a top 5 duo. Don't know why. I just feel that way. And T.Y. Hilton, both of these are kind of old players. Phillip Rivers obviously is nearing his 40s, or is in his 40s, and T.Y. Hilton says that his next contract is going to be his last contract and that he's going to retire at the end of it. So likely to see him sign a 3 to 4 year deal. But yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good ranking for them. Yeah. Number 13 is Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Why? He won't complete a pass to Stephon Diggs unless it's wide open. Disappointed in you, Bleacher Report. Just disappointed. Number 14 is Big Ben and Juju Smith-Schuster. They had a pretty good connection 2 years ago. And last year, Big Ben was hurt. Not really can comment much on that. Pretty good connection. I hope Juju signs with the Jets next year. Unless he's a slot receiver, because we already have Jameson Crowder. But anyway, number 15, we have Matthew Stafford and Kenny Golladay. This is a pretty underrated connection. Kenny Golladay is an underrated, receiver. The Lions have a pretty underrated receiving core with Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay, and even T.J. Hawkinson, T.Y. Hawkinson, I don't know. The guy from Iowa that they drafted 4th overall last year. I feel like he could be a star in the making, just like George Kittle. George Kittle had a slow rookie year, and so did he. I feel like he could be the next great tight end. Matthew Stafford always gets hurt, but whenever he's healthy, him and Golladay have a legendary connection. 16 is Carson Wentz and Alshon Jeffrey. Carson Wentz is a pretty solid quarterback. He's one of my favorite. I feel like he needs more love because he is really good. But Alshon Jeffrey, I didn't really hear much about him last season. I think he was hurt, but anyway, I don't think he put up the same stats like he did that year they won the Super Bowl. But whenever they're both healthy, I feel like this could be a pretty good connection. 17 is Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. I feel like you should have put Jarvis Landry instead of Odell. They have a good connection unless we're doing wide receiver 1. Because I feel like that's sort of kind of what we're attacking here. Yeah, wide receiver 1. More like it. They could be higher on this list if it was Jarvis Landry instead of Odell. Number 18 is Joe Burrow and AJ Green. Why isn't this higher? Obviously Joe Burrow's a rookie, number 1 overall pick. We don't know how he's going to do. And AJ Green can't stay healthy worth the flip. He is always injured, it feels like, or he's injured so he doesn't have to play with Andy Dalton. It's either that. But now that he is Joe Burrow, everything's going to be good, and then watch him set off the season. Number 19 is Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp. Another underrated connection. Whenever Jared Goff is on his A game, throwing like, I don't know, let's say a pro instead of like Jameis Winston kind of, because, some games he's throwing 5 interceptions or he's throwing 5 touchdowns. Not really, but it's just what it feels like. Number 20 is the Los Angeles Chargers and Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. Probably could be higher on the list if Justin Herbert goes better in his, next year, sort of kind of how the Cincinnati Bengals at number 18 are. Because, he's a rookie quarterback. You don't know really what's going to happen. 21 is the Chicago Bears. They have Mitchell Trubisky and Allen Robinson. So they obviously think that this is a better duo than other some. I will say Allen Robinson is an underrated receiver in the NFL. He has been a pretty solid receiver for the Bears in the past 2 years, having 1,000 yards last season and I'm pretty sure a Pro Bowl appearance. But if he was with Sam Darnold, they would be super high on this, not super high, but probably top 15. And Mitchell Trubisky's just, that's all I'm going to say. The Las Vegas Raiders, feels so weird to say that, they have Derek Carr and Henry Ruggs III. It's one of those, he's a rookie, we don't know how good he's going to be, sort of kind of scenarios, and Derek Carr sort of had one good year and he's kind of done. Number 23 in the Carolina Panthers, we have Teddy Bridgewater and DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a pretty underrated receiver. If you don't know, I use a pen. The pen that comes with the Note 9 to record because I can press this button, so, in a video, and that's why I accidentally pressed it during speaking. That's why it went out. But DJ Moore is a pretty underrated receiver. I think he was a top 5 receiver in he was top 5 in receiving yards last year. And I'm pretty sure, he was at one point. I'm not sure if he finished that way. And Teddy Bridgewater, you don't know how he's going to do. He was a pretty good quarterback whenever he was with the Vikings. Then he hopped around teams, went to the Jets. The Jets traded him to the Saints, and he was a backup quarterback there. And I will say he played pretty good as a backup. But I don't know if he's going to just... What I'm saying is, I don't know if he's meant to be a starter, if he's just going to be a solid backup for the rest of his career. But they took a shot at him and paid him Dak Prescott money. No, that's not Dak Prescott money. They paid him starter money. 24 is kind of confusing. They have Jimmy Garoppolo and Deebo Samuel. Okay, well, let's think about this. Deebo Samuel is a rookie who played phenomenal last year. Jimmy Garoppolo is a quarterback that is known for handing the ball off to one of his 2 running backs because Matt Breida left. But I can kind of see where you're going with this because, Jimmy Garoppolo is more that handoff type of quarterback that's overrated. And Deebo Samuel is one of those underrated receivers. I don't really know. 25, I'm mad about this. Jared Stidham and Julian Edelman. What? Jared Stidham, first NFL drive. May I remind you that on Jared Stidham's first NFL drive, he threw a pick 6 to Jamal Adams. And you're just going to put him at 25? I think he might break the record I think he might break Jameis Winston's record and throw 31 interceptions in a season. But they're probably going to bench him by mid-season, so he won't even get to accomplish that. I just don't like the Patriots, so I'm hating on them. But regardless, I feel like any NFL team, any NFL fan, in period, should be like, what? And another what is number 26, Tennessee Titans, Ryan Tannehill and A.J. Brown. I'm just kidding. Ryan Tannehill is one of those. I'm going to hand it off to Derrick Henry. He's getting paid top-tier money to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. So, yeah. A.J. Brown is a good rookie. I think he should have won in the 2nd round. I wanted the Jets to draft him in the 3rd round, but of course we didn't have, of course he was taken by then. But, yeah. Number 27, we have Drew Lock and Courtland Sutton. This was a pretty good connection last year. Courtland Sutton making the Pro Bowl, I think. And Drew Lock, I think, can be one of the next great quarterbacks in the NFL now that they've added Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler and that tight end from Missouri that I think had a great connection. Drew Lock. We're almost done, people. Stick with me here. All right, we have our last 5 spots coming up. All right, let's go. 28, we have Tua Tagovailoa and Devontae Parker. Tua's not even going to be the starter, people. I don't understand this. Tua's not even going to be the starter till mid-season, I don't think. Sort of kind of be like what happened with Jared Goff, how, Jared Goff, Case Keenum played, I think 11 games or played to week 12 because, bye weeks and everything. And then Jared Goff came in. I feel like that's going to be sort of kind of the situation. I don't know how to feel about this. Devontae Parker's a great receiver nonetheless, and Tua, I don't think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. You heard it from me, and you probably heard it from other people. He's a left-hand quarterback, and usually left-handed quarterbacks really don't do that great in the NFL, unless you're Steve Young or Michael Vick, and I don't think he's one of those people. Even though he is good, completion percentage and everything, he's just very injury prone too, so I don't think his career is going to last long. 29, we have the New York Giants, and we have quarterback Daniel Jones and wide receiver Golden Tate. I can see why they're going with this. Daniel Jones obviously is not that great of a quarterback. Shouldn't have been picked in the first round with the 6th overall pick. Golden Tate's a good receiver stuck on a bad team. And, I just don't get this. And I also don't get why you have Sam Darnold and Denzel Mims coming in at the number 30th spot. Hello, Sam Darnold, spoken by many people saying that he could be the next great quarterback. And Denzel Mims, a stud coming out of college. This is probably better than Tua Tagovailoa and Devontae Parker. And I think, if this was a tight end list, we would be number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, or number 1. We would be so high up on there, you wouldn't even believe it. You could have put Jamison Crowder there too, because they had a pretty solid connection last year, but I guarantee you, if we had Robbie Anderson, we would be number 20, because people overrate Robbie Anderson so much. He was one of my favorite players on the Jets, but I feel like he was really overrated. He wasn't as good as many people were saying. I don't agree with this at all, and I will never agree with this. Should be a top 20, case closed. Number 31 is the Washington Redskins and Dwayne Haskins and Terry McLaurin. Dwayne Haskins really isn't that great of a quarterback. He was pretty good in college, and he's okay in the NFL. But Scary Terry is a very good receiver, and I feel like he could be one of the best to come. But Dwayne Haskins isn't that great of a quarterback, and that's why they're last. And coming in the number 32 spot, the last spot on this list, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars and Gardner Minshew, the second, and DJ Chark. I could see where they're going with this. DJ Chark is, what's the word for it? A new and upcoming receiver. He just made the Pro Bowl last year, and I feel like he did phenomenal at LSU, and he's going to be a good receiver to come. But Gardner Minshew, you just don't know what to do with him. He was a wild card player. He might be like one of those one-hit wonders. Case Keenum was, played phenomenal for the Vikings, and then he just turned out to not play that well for the rest of his career. He's a solid backup, not going to lie, but he just didn't do that well in Denver whenever they signed him to be a starter. And Gardner Minshew, I feel like could be good, but I don't feel like he could be great. So, yeah. Oh, and I never ended the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you are new here, make sure to like, subscribe. If you are returning, thank you for watching. I love having you here. It is a blessing. This is the end of the video. Now, I have to go to Netherlands. Bye. Oh, thanks for watching as always. Go Jets.